Net metering in Pakistan, all you need to know. With the ever-increasing cost of traditional forms of energy, solar power has emerged as a viable option for many homeowners and businesses in Pakistan. Solar power offers many benefits, including reduced energy costs, decreased dependence on fossil fuels, and a smaller carbon footprint. However, before you can start reaping the benefits of solar power, you need to understand how net metering works. What is net metering? Net metering is a billing arrangement whereby you are only charged for the net amount of electricity that you use. In other words, if your solar panels produce more electricity than you use in a given month, you will receive a credit on your bill for the excess electricity that your system produced. This credit can be used to offset any future charges incurred when your system does not produce enough electricity to meet your needs, for example, at night or during inclement weather. How does net metering work in Pakistan? In Pakistan, net metering is available for both grid-tied and off-grid solar PV systems. For grid-tied systems, your solar PV system should be connected to the main utility grid in order to take advantage of net metering. Your meter will track the amount of electricity that your system produces as well as the amount of electricity that you consume from the grid. At the end of each billing period, you will be billed only for the net amount of electricity used. For example, let's say that your monthly electricity consumption is 1000 kilowatt hours and your solar PV system produced 800 kilowatt hours during that same period. This means that you would have consumed 200 kilowatt hours from the grid. 1000 kilowatt hours to 800 kilowatt hours equals 200 kilowatt hours. Therefore, you would only be billed for the 200 kilowatt hours that you actually used from the grid. If your system had produced 1200 kilowatt hours during that month instead of 800 kilowatt hours, you would have actually exported 200 kilowatt hours back to the grid. 1200 kilowatt hours to 1000 kilowatt hours equals 200 kilowatt hours. In this case, you would receive a credit on your bill for the 200 kilowatt hours that your system exported back to the grid. This credit can be used to offset any future charges when your system does not produce enough electricity to meet your needs. For off-grid solar PV systems not connected to the main utility grid, net metering is still available. However, instead of receiving a monthly credit on your electric bill, you will receive an annual payment from NTDC, National Transmission and Dispatch Company, for any excess electricity that your system produces. Advantage of net metering in Pakistan. In order to take advantage of net metering in Pakistan, NTDC requires that all solar PV systems meet certain criteria. The system must have an inverter with bidirectional capability. The inverter must have an input connection for a current sensor, and the inverter must have an output connection for an aura meter. Pakistan is one of the most energy deficient countries in the world. The lack of access to reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy sources has crippled economic growth and hampered social development. Net metering is a policy that can help address this issue by allowing individuals and businesses to generate their own energy from renewable sources like solar and wind power, and sell any excess back to the grid. Pakistan has a total installed capacity of around 24,000 megawatts. However, due to various factors including an inefficient energy mix, outdated and poorly maintained infrastructure, and rampant power theft, the country only has the ability to generate about 12,600 megawatts. As a result, Pakistan experiences widespread blackouts and load shedding on a daily basis. Net metering is a policy that can help address the country's energy deficit by allowing individuals and businesses to generate their own electricity from renewable sources like solar and wind power, and sell any excess back to the grid. With net metering, consumers who generate their own electricity can offset the cost of their energy consumption by selling surplus power back to the utility company. Things you need to know about net metering in Pakistan. Net metering is currently only available for rooftop solar PV systems. The maximum capacity limit for net metered systems is 50 kilowatts. Only surplus electricity generated during daytime hours can be exported to the grid. Any excess electricity generated at night must be consumed by the consumer. Net metering is not available in all parts of Pakistan. Currently, it is only offered by a few select utility companies in major cities like Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. If you're interested in exploring net metering as a way to offset your energy costs or generate additional income, we encourage you to get in touch with a best solar energy installer in your area to learn more about this policy and how it can benefit you. Thanks for watching.